This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, hello and welcome to an all-new Rated R Safety Show. How are you doing today, ladies and gentlemen? Because that is the important part of the equation. Okay, of course, you already know that. But today is Friday, March the 6th, day 66 of the year, and only 300 days to go before it is all over with. Anyways, how are you doing today? I hope everything's going off to a fantastic start for this fabulous Friday, the last Friday before the time change, if you're here in the great United States of America. So that's a great thing if you actually have the time change coming up in your area. Anyway, so we're here at good old Safety FM today, because that's what we're doing. And we're having, this another Rated R Safety Show. So today, we're going to do the Rated R Safety Show. We're going to have some conversations talking about what's going on in the world. Of course, coronavirus seems to be the thing dominating the news stories. But also, before we start getting into all the craziness that we're going to talk about today, I want to talk about a couple of different things relatively quick. Number one, we have a new show that started this week, and a lot of people already know about it. It's called the Safety Justice League. And that's actually out and about and available to you if you're taking a listen. But we also had a secondary show that started this week. Now, the host of the show has asked that we don't promote it. So, I'm not going to promote the show. But I will tell you that the show is available on the network. If you do take a look, if you do take a listen, if you go searching on the network, and I would recommend specifically going into podcatchers and taking a look at what's available there, because it is readily available right now. So new show came out this week, and it's not the Safety Justice League show. It is another show, and it is available in there, and it's also related to news. Just want to throw that out there real quick. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to reference real quick, starting Monday, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, will actually be taking a jump onto the radio station. So starting at 3 o'clock, I believe, Eastern time, the Hop Nerd will be there going forward, so you can take a listen to what he has going on directly on the safetyfm.com and safetyfm.live, and that's the Hop Nerd will be available 3 to 4 going there on Safety FM. So that's what we got going on. There's some other changes about to happen, but I'm probably speaking a little bit too soon. But if you pay attention close next week, we'll probably have a brief discussion on what's going on. So just so you know right off the top there. The other portion, before I forget. Yesterday, I was actually online here, and somebody was telling me that I was jumping into time slots on the radio station. Now, the funny part is the radio station, we kind of jump around and do a whole bunch of different things. So time slots are kind of there, but sometimes things are subject to change. It's not like we're an ongoing soap opera or TV series where we say, hey, every day at this particular time, this is going to occur. So things will change. So you might be on the show at this time, but that is subject to change depending if something live is going on. So keep that in mind. Also, we're going to be doing some more live events as we go down the path here. So just as you're fully aware of what is going on here at Safety FM. Also, the other portion, before I forget, some more people have asked for us to do these live presentations, so we'll be doing a little bit more of those presentations as we go going forward. But anyways, let me kind of stop with all the boring stuff, man, and let's get crazy and do some stuff here related to the Rated R Safety Show, because that's why you're here. I mean, who cares about the news segment about here's what's going on at the station?
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM. Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
So anyways, taking it from the top, oh yes, let's talk about it because we haven't really had the discussion in quite some time, so we need to discuss it. Elon Musk is telling people that tech blog R Technica, yes, that's R Technica, it will take around 1,000 spaceships to colonize Mars. And you know that this has been an obsession of Elon Musk for quite some time now. I know that this discussion has been going on. So as of late February, he could double the payroll at his Texas launch facility, adding more than 250 employees to the headcount. He says that he hopes to build the production infrastructure to build one rocket every week by the end of 2020. So this guy has decided that colonizing Mars is what he's wanting to be known for. I mean, besides that, he's already known for several other things. But if this does happen in your lifetime, will this be something that you'll be willing to do? Will you be willing to actually jump out there and go out and see what is going on? Because I look at it and go, I don't know if I'd want to be one of the first people out there. But that's just me. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of maybe a little bit paranoid about that kind of stuff. How do you feel? What would you do? Would you jump out there and take a look, take a listen, go out and take a flight out there? I don't know. Little different for me anyways. Supplier for Apple are gearing up for production of the forthcoming AirPods Pro Lite. Oh yeah, you heard me correctly. MacRumors.com says that it's unlikely that Apple will actually use the name when they hit the market, but that's how they are being classified to the suppliers. The wireless headphones are rumored to be similar to the current Pro models, but without the active noise canceling at a lower price point. So I don't know. Are you a big fan of the AirPods? Some people love them. Some people hate them. Some people say that they're great. Some people say the noise canceling sucks. I don't know. I have used those. I have used the Bose ones. I have used some different ones. And I mean, the AirPods are convenient. I'm not going to say they're not. I can carry them in my pocket, no problem whatsoever. But they do not have the best noise canceling that's available. I mean, I'm stuck on planes all the time where I actually am using the things and I don't feel like they cancel enough noise out. But that's just me. What do you think? How are you using them? And as a safety professional, do you go around using them even when you're out in the field?
Duh.
I don't know if that's the best idea to do it, but hey, you have to take a look and see what's going to work best for you. Anyways, let's continue further down the path here. Cece the cat has died. She was the first clone cat that was born created, back in December 22 of 2001 as a project of Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Her veterinarians diagnosed her with kidney failure. And now this has occurred. So take a look at that. So we can say roughly about 18 years that she was alive. Because if you take a look December, so then that's 19. But, closer to the 18 mark region. So what do you think? Do you feel that that was a successful test that was actually performed? Do you feel that it was worthwhile of the cloning portion? I mean, I know everybody's going to say something a little bit different. And I know that this could be a little bit crazy.
Duh.
Talking about the cloning piece. But I look at it and I go, it's interesting. I mean, we're talking about technology back from 2001. We're now in 2020. So I'm assuming that the technology has changed significantly. So what does it look like now if something like that is done? And is it too controversial to even be having the discussion? I remember watching a movie called The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they had something called Repet. And on Repet, you could actually get your pet cloned. And people were like, wow, that's crazy. And then, of course, the movie was based on the guy being cloned. I know it's not a spoiler. Movie came out several years ago. But you have to look at it and go, if that is something that's available to do to animals, I would imagine that human trials are not going to be that far off if they're not doing so already. But is it politically correct in doing so? Because that's the other portion that people are going to talk about. They're going to be like, hey, I can't believe you're doing this. Why are you doing it? Blah, 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 blah. How do you feel about it? I mean, I don't know. I kind of have some mixed reactions on what I think. I mean, I don't say that it's bad. I don't say that it's good. Because then you kind of go into the whole thing where people are going to turn around and say, oh, maybe now it's time that you start playing God if you're able to do that. So I don't know. What is your thoughts behind it? You can leave a message inside of the drop box. Anyways, we are streaming live on the different platforms available here at Safety FM. That'd be at Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, Facebook. We're also on safetyfm.com and safetyfm.live. And you might even be listening to us on a recording, which we normally drop the podcast later, almost immediately after we're actually done with doing the recording. So depending on how you're taking a listen to us, but we do tend to come live from time to time right here on safetyfm.com for sure. And then the rest of them are kind of just hit or miss. And we do some extensions from time to time. If you're listening to us on the live stream or watching us on the live stream via video, where we'll actually go in and out and do some extended content once we're actually done with the radio style format of this. Anyways, let's continue real quick. Major airlines are canceling domestic flights and waiving change fees among mass cancellation over fears of the coronavirus. You already knew I was going to say that. You knew I was going to say that. Let's continue. The specific policies vary by airline, but American, Alaska, Delta, United, and JetBlue are institutioning safeguards to protect their customers from fees. So what are you thinking here? What are you thinking about this coronavirus thing? I heard right before I went on the air that Microsoft and Facebook have instituted the people that are able to work from home and not to come in. A lot of the actual things that are conference-wise that are abroad, people are actually canceling. I just heard that TwitchCon just got canceled, and that's not actually taking place until May, and we're still beginning of March here. And I know there's some cost associated to some of these things when you're putting them on.
Duh.
But you have to take a look at it and go, okay, we're already looking that far out. There's some different information taking place. I know that the lovely president of the United States has says that come April, you should see a lot of this die down. There's also some news stories going around that some things are increasing. What are you thinking here? What are you doing? Or do you travel for work? Do you do different things where you're going out and about? Are you staying put at home? Are you able to work from home? What are you doing? Are you going to places where there's a whole bunch of people? Are you avoiding it? Are you washing your hands? I mean, there's so many different things that are going out there. What are you doing about this currently? I would love to know, because I'm always intrigued and interested in what people out there are doing. And how are you treating this as a safety professional as you're moving forward? Are you looking at this and going, okay, we're having the discussion, we're doing the information, and this is what we're actually instituting inside of our organizations and having the discussions with our people? Because that's something else you have to think about. Anyways, let's continue real quick. The Dow took 971 points loss on Thursday amid increasing uncertainty about the future of the economy and had spread in the spread of the coronavirus despite Congress' multi-billion-dollar side package approved on Wednesday. So as you can see, this is a global phenomenon on what's actually going on. Let's continue real quick. Starbucks is pausing its practice of dispensing coffee into cups and mugs brought into the stores by customers in fear of spreading the coronavirus. Yep, you heard it one more time there. They encourage the practice to decrease waste, but Starbucks' annual report said that only 1.3% of customers ever did this. So more and more information coming about the coronavirus and what can be done and what you should be doing and what you should not be doing and all this other fun stuff. We need to know how you're treating it. I don't know. I'm talking to quite a few people out there and they're telling me some different things that they're doing, but I want to know what you're doing. Because there's people that are changing organizations. There's people that are actually going out there and staying in jobs where they don't have to travel just because of the fear. Now, if you stay locked up amongst this thing, what's going to happen? Are you ordering everything from Amazon? I'm being told, as we talked about a few days ago, that Amazon is sold out of hand sanitizer. I've been told that other countries are running out of certain items that they're looking for. I was actually listening to a show out of the United Kingdom this morning, and they were saying that they're actually running out of noodles. Noodles. So are you already stocking up? And believe me, I'm not going to say, hey, this portion of the show is brought to you by blah, blah, blah. Stock up as much as you want. But there's some things that you have to start thinking about here. What's the plan? Because you can't wait till the last moment if this is going to get more and more serious as we go down the path. Anyways, let's continue. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage has hit 3.29%, a record low. Year over year, it's down more and more than a whole point or percentage point so far. So what do you think? Is it a good time to buy? And do you believe in the 30-year mortgage? Because a 30-year mortgage, you're going to be paying quite a bit of interest regardless of what that percentage point thing is. So what are you thinking? Is this a good time with everything else that's going on in the world? I don't know. I just keep on going. These are the conversations that we're having. Anyways, a Nazi concentration camp guard living in Tennessee has been ordered back to Germany by a Memphis area judge. Immigration judge Rebecca L. Holt ruled to send Frederick Karl Berger back to Germany, where remains a citizen that still collects military pension from a government there. Berger admitted that he oversaw prisoners in the concentration camp and never asked for a transfer to different duties. The trial lasted for only 2 days. So what do you think? I don't know. There's this new show that's come out on Amazon, and I'm not comparing the two, but it's about actually hunting down Nazis. I almost kind of have the same feel about these two things.
Duh.
And what do you think? Should they send the person back? I don't know. I'm just telling you, what's there in the news. Okay, OPEC or OPEC is cutting its estimations for global oil demand in 2020 by half as the coronavirus fears grind economies around the globe to a halt. In December, OPEC or OPEC predicted growth by 1.1 million barrels per day for 2020. Now they're revisiting that it's down just by 480,000 barrels per day. I'm telling you, this thing is all over the place. This thing is everywhere. You cannot listen to the news for longer than 5 minutes where the conversation doesn't come up. Is it a fear tactic? Is it reality? What is it? I mean, I don't know. I don't know where to go with this because the story's everywhere. I mean, it is everywhere. You can't hide from it. I know that there's been, when the last time I checked, there were several deaths that had already occurred in Washington State, talking about Seattle area in particular. So there's something here to this. And I know that I'm down south, but you have to take a look at it and go, okay, there's something going on. How are we going to actually handle these things going forward? And what are you planning on doing? I mean, it's a realistic question. And I know that we try to have some fun and do some different things on the Rated R Safety Show, but, I am worried about the listeners. You guys are the best parts of the show. I mean, that's how it goes. So how does this work? What are you planning? Think about it if you don't have a plan already in place. As a safety professional, you are a planner normally. So what's going on? What are you thinking? Anyways, let's continue real quick. Harvey Weinstein is headed to Rikers Island Prison after an operation to remove a blockage in his heart. At Rikers, he'll be in the jail medical facility where his conditions will be monitored and he'll be separated from the general population. As you are aware, I think it was like 2 weeks ago at this particular point, something had occurred right when they were going to tell him what his sentence was. So they had to put that a little bit on the back burner until he actually had some medical procedures done to have some things taken care of. So I look at it and I go, good timing, or was it realistic on what was going on?
Rated R Safety Show.
Sarcastic? Never.
So that's more and more to think about as we move forward. Anyways, let's talk about the lottery because we tend to talk about it all the time here. No winner for Tuesday's night Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $70 million jackpot or a $52.4 million cash payout. No winner for Wednesday's night Powerball drawing. Saturday's drawing will be for $100 million jackpot or $75.5 million cash payout. Entirely up to you and what you want to do because that's how that actually works. Anyways, let me give you a little bit of information. I don't know how old you are, how young you are, but a Clueless themed restaurant is opening in Los Angeles. In celebration for the iconic teen movie 25th anniversary, Paramount Pictures has teamed up with the masterminds behind the past pop-ups to create As If. According to Entertainment Weekly, the themed eatery will feature a menu of LA's inspired drinks and cheerable, not cheerable, bar snacks along with set recreations of the movie's most memorable scenes. It will also be open from March 31st through May 8th. Now, what a lot of people tend to forget about this movie is that at the end of the movie, the lady that plays the sister and the guy that plays the stepbrother fall in love with each other, which is just an awkward conversation.
Duh.
And I don't know. I've always kind of looked at that movie and went, that's kind of A little strange, but hey, whatever. I know what it is, but it is an opinion here. Anyways, let's talk about the days of the year that you can celebrate today. Matter of fact, before we do that, let's talk about the list of the day. Here are the top 10. Here are the top most read books in the world according to Business Insider. So let's take it. Let's do the top 5. The Alchemist, The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Quotations from Chairman Mao Tse-tung. Just kidding on the last name there. What do you think the number 1 book is? Do you have a guess? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Were you holding out? Are you giving it some more thought? Want me to tell you what it is? I mean, I'm starting a list. Of course, I should tell you what it is. Here we go. The best book sold of all times. It's the Holy Bible.
Duh.
Yep, that took the number 1 spot on the books that have been most read in the world. Anyways, let's talk about the days of the year today that you can celebrate. Alamo Day, Dentist Day, Dress in Blue Day. No, it's not Monica Lewinsky Celebration Day. Can't believe you. Anyways, Employee Appreciation Day, National Noodle Day, Middle Name Pride Day. What's your middle name? How about you share it? National Dress Day, National Frozen Food Day, National Oreo Cookie Day, National Speech and Debate Education Day, National White Chocolate Cheesecake Day, and World Day of Prayer. Man, that's a lot of stuff. A lot of weird combination stuff too, man. All over the place there. Anyways, also on today's birthdays, just in case you don't know, former NBA All-Star, I mean, he's still an All-Star, even though he doesn't play anymore, but today, Shaquille O'Neal turns 48. And it says former NBA player. He will always be a player. He will always be an All-Star. Now he's an analyst for the most part, but hey, today he turns 48. Anyway, so if you're listening to us on the radio station format and not on the video form, we're about to leave you. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, that goes the same thing for you as well. Anyways, I appreciate everything you do. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk some more about this craziness that's going on across the world, hopefully come Monday, or not at some point next week. But we will see what happens with the coronavirus over the weekend. Also, keep in mind, time change. Saturday night to Sunday morning. Remember, 2 a.m. is when the time changes. You will forward up to an hour, so you lose that time between 2 and 3.
Duh.
So, for right now, you know who I am. I know who you are. Love you. Mean it. Bye.
Duh.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.